Welcome to January 24th Bible reading. It's incredible. We are almost through the entire month of January already. So let's keep going. We are in Job chapter 19, and this is Job's response to Bildad. It says, Then Job spoke again. How long will you torture me? How long will you try to crush me with your words? You have already insulted me 10 times. You should be ashamed of treating me so badly. Even if I have sinned, that is my concern, not yours. You think you're better than I am, using my humiliation as evidence of my sin. But it is God who has wronged me, capturing me in his net. I cry out, help, but no one answers me. I protest, but there is no justice. God has blocked my ways so I cannot move. He has plunged my path into darkness. He has stripped me of my honor and removed the crown from my head. He has demolished me on every side, and I am finished. He has uprooted my hope like a fallen tree. His fury burns against me. He counts me as an enemy. His troops advance. They build up roads to attack me. They camp all around my tent. My relatives stay far away, and my friends have turned against me. My family is gone, and my close friends have forgotten me. My servants and maids consider me a stranger. I'm like a foreigner to them. When I call my servant, he doesn't come. I have to plead with him. My breath is repulsive to my wife. I'm rejected by my own family. Even young children despise me. When I stand to speak, they turn their backs on me. My close friends detest me. Those I loved have turned against me. I have been reduced to skin and bones, and have escaped death by the skin of my teeth. Have mercy on me, my friends, have mercy, for the hand of God has struck me. Must you also persecute me like God does? Haven't you chewed me up enough? Oh, that my words could be recorded. Oh, that they could be inscribed on a monument, carved with an iron chisel and filled with lead, engraved forever in the rock. But as for me, I know that my Redeemer lives, and he will stand upon the earth at last. And after my body has decayed, yet in my body I will see God. I will see him for myself. Yes, I will see him with my own eyes. I am overwhelmed at the thought. How dare you go on persecuting me, saying it's his own fault? You should fear punishment yourselves, for your attitude deserves punishment. Then you will know that there is indeed a judgment. Job chapter 20, Zophar's second response to Job. And then Zophar the Naamathite replied, I must reply, because I'm greatly disturbed. I've had to endure your insults, but now my spirit prompts me to reply. Don't you realize that from the beginning of time, ever since people were first placed on the earth, the triumph of the wicked has been short-lived, and the joy of the godless has been only temporary? Though the pride of the godless reaches to the heavens and their heads touch the clouds, yet they will vanish forever, thrown away like their own dung. Those who knew them will ask, where are they? They will fade like a dream and not be found. They will vanish like a vision in the night. Those who once saw them will see them no more. Their families will never see them again. Their children will beg from the poor, for they must give back their stolen riches. Though they are young, their bones will lie in the dust. They enjoyed the sweet taste of wickedness, letting it melt under their tongue. They savored it, holding it long in their mouths. But suddenly the food in their bellies turns sour, a poisonous venom in their stomach. They will vomit the wealth they swallowed. God won't let them keep it down. They will suck the poison of cobras. The viper will kill them. They will never again enjoy streams of olive oil, of rivers of milk and honey. They will give back everything they worked for. Their wealth will bring them no joy. For they oppressed the poor and left them destitute. They foreclosed on their homes. They were always greedy and never satisfied. Nothing remains of all the things they dreamed about. Nothing is left after they finish gorging themselves. Therefore, their prosperity will not endure. In the midst of plenty, they will run into trouble and be overcome by misery. May God give them a belly full of trouble. May God rain down his anger upon them. When they try to escape, an iron weapon, a bronze-tipped arrow, will pierce them. The arrow is pulled from their back, and the arrowhead glistens with blood. The terrors of death are upon them. Their treasures will be thrown into deepest darkness. A wildfire will devour their goods, consuming all they have left. The heavens will reveal their guilt, and the earth will testify against them. A flood will sweep away their house. God's anger will descend on them in torrents. This is the reward that God gives the wicked. It is the inheritance decreed by God. Job's seventh speech, a response to Zophar. Job 21. Then Job spoke again. Listen closely to what I'm saying. That's one consolation you can give me. Bear with me and let me speak. After I've spoken, you may resume mocking me. My complaint is with God, not with people. I have good reason to be so impatient. Look at me and be stunned. Put your hand over your mouth in shock. When I think about what I am saying, I shudder. My body trembles. Why do the wicked prosper, growing old and powerful? They live to see their children grow up and settle down, and they enjoy their grandchildren. Their homes are safe from every fear, and God does not punish them. Their bulls never fail to breed, and their cows bear calves and never miscarry. They let their children frisk about like lambs. Their little ones skip and dance. They sing with tambourine and harp. They celebrate to the sound of the flute. They spend their days in prosperity, then go down to the grave in peace. And yet they say to God, go away. We want no part of you and your ways. Who is the Almighty, and why should we obey him? What good will it do us to pray? You see, they think their prosperity is of their own doing, but I will have nothing to do with that kind of thinking. Yet the light of the wicked never seems to be extinguished. Do they ever have trouble? Does God distribute sorrows to them in anger? Are they driven before the wind like straw? Are they carried away by the storm like chaff? Not at all. Well, you say, at least God will punish their children. But I say he should punish the ones who sin, so that they understand his judgment. Let them see their destruction with their own eyes. Let them drink deeply of the anger of the Almighty, for they will not care what happens to their family after they are dead. But who can teach a lesson to God, since he judges even the most powerful? One person dies in prosperity, completely comfortable and secure, the picture of good health, vigorous and fit. Another person dies in bitter poverty, never having tasted the good life. But both are buried in the same dust, both eaten by the same maggots. Look, I know what you're thinking. I know the schemes you plot against me. You tell me of rich and wicked people whose houses have vanished because of their sins. But ask those who have been around, and they will tell you the truth. Evil people are spared in times of calamity and are allowed to escape disaster. No one criticizes them openly or pays them back for what they have done. When they are carried to the grave, an honor guard keeps watch at their tomb. A great funeral procession goes to the cemetery, and many pay their respects as the body is laid to rest, and the earth gives sweet repose. How can your empty cliches comfort me? All your explanations are lies. Okay, so Job is, again, they're going back and forth. His friends are accusing him, and basically, because he was wealthy and he had lost his wealth, lost his children, his friends are basically saying, you've lost those things because you must have been unfair when you were wealthy. When you were wealthy, it must have been because you foreclosed on the poor, treated them unfairly. All of those things that it must have been that you were one of those mean, rich people. It's kind of one of those situations that again, even today, if we aren't careful, because we measure things with money, and sometimes it's even, you almost get the feel that his friends were jealous. Obviously, there was something in their heart where they were, It sounds like they were jealous of him and jealous of the money that he had. Um, it's because now they're accusatory. Well, he must have done wicked things, or it must have been unfair to people, and they are really characterizing Job and really a whole class of people who are very wealthy, um, in a very accusatory way. And Job's response is, no, listen, um, the wicked, they often prosper. They often, go to the grave and have a lot when they go to the grave, and don't seem to have to pay for the wicked things that they've done. Look all around. There are plenty of people who can testify to that reality of, look at these people who lived godless, who didn't want God in their life, and that's what he's saying. He's like, no, you know, I've honored God. I've honored God all along, even with the possessions that I've had. And I think that's just an important reminder that there are plenty of people that are out there that God has blessed in a really amazing way, who have been able to make a lot of money. Maybe started up a business and their business went really well, and they were sharp business people, and they were able to make a lot of money, and um, were very generous. There are a lot of people who are very wealthy, who are also very, very generous people, and bless people, and people don't even know what they've done, um, because they don't do it for show, And so there's the back and forth, and Job is just, again, he's staking his claim. He's making his case that, no, this is all coming. It's it's God's allowing this to happen, and I love what he says. And yet my Redeemer lives. I love where he brings in this. He doesn't just speak of God. He's got a great sense of a relationship with. He said, "My Redeemer lives, and he will, he will redeem. He will show himself." And it's this really awesome, statement, is that even though I have a complaint with God, I understand I'm really, I'm taking the risk of even saying that this is God, because I can't indict God, and because when I stand next to Him, really He is holy and He's righteous, and I'm not, and yet I know that I haven't sinned to cause these things, and so I've got a complaint against God in this situation, and but he says, well, who can teach a lesson to God, since He judges even the most powerful, and so they're just he's living in this tough reality of, he has faith in God, and yet there are things that have happened in his life now that he can't make sense of. Sometimes you and we can't make sense of the things that have gone on. Sometimes we can't make sense of God's timing, right? Sometimes we can't make sense of why God allows a person to prosper who is wicked, who doesn't give God the time of day. And yet there are those who love God so much and struggle sometimes their entire lives. And we don't understand how that can be. And yet we need to be reminded that it is not in the possessions of life, that we have um, that we find true prosperity and true peace um, through it all. You know, God is God is good to us. He is faithful, and there is a benefit. Ecclesiastes speaks of this, a benefit of learning how to find contentment in our lot in life. Not to say that we can't try to improve our lots, but there's a sense of finding just contentment, um, generally speaking, as people who live under the goodness of God. Um, and then when things happen that are difficult, to put our hand in the hand of God, who says that His yoke is easy and His burden is light, because He wants to walk with us, no matter what it is that we're going through. We might not understand it, but He wants to walk with us. Well, I hope that this has been a good Bible reading for you today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll join back up tomorrow as we continue reading through the book of Job. All right, God bless you. Hope you have a really great day.